Yeah, from the previous assignment, okay, you guys have shown me some things to report, okay. Sridhar sent out an email to me regarding his work on data loading with some validation rules and thing. So only the validation rules are working, right? Is filial security working on that with data loader? Yeah, no.
Like,
So for suppose if you are removing access to the company field or any other field, can you upload that data into the system?
no, actually we can't map it in the data loader. It's not showing that field, whatever we are removing that.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah, and validation
But for
is working.
field
And
depend,
field dependencies is working fine, right? Even though if you're giving raw different values, also it's taking accepting, right?
yes, field dependencies are not working.
Exactly. Okay. So first of all, yeah, that's the field dependencies are implemented with a JavaScript type of some scripting functionality. So what happens if someone is asking you to develop similar type of requirement like field dependencies on HTML page? What you do? You're going to use some JavaScript in the and whenever people are changing the country pick list value, drop down box, it's called as select options in HTML. Automatically you are going to trigger a JavaScript function on change of that country pick list value, and you are going to load the data for the city or state values because they are dependent each other, right? Same thing when you are creating a field dependencies in Salesforce, uh, they are simplifying the developer task. Okay, they're in the back end. What they will do on that page layout, they are going to add some JavaScript function which is automatically created by them for field dependencies because this type of requirements is required for all type of address fields. That's the reason it won't need because when you are using the when you are creating the data only from the front end, it works because JavaScript is only available in the front end. Okay, and when you are talking to the database with API, that is with data loader, you are not going to use the JavaScript at all. That is the reason the field dependencies won't work. And um, coming down to the field level security, I think if you are not giving access to that users, even though that user is accessing via API, that fields are not visible to them at all, so that they cannot update that values. It even applies to even all API users also. Means when you are using Apex data loader, you are accessing Salesforce with API, application programming interface. It might be talking to Salesforce with some SOAP API. Okay, I think it's using SOAP API for that, for reporting the data, the CSV file into the Salesforce system. The tool is developed in Java. Okay, and the third thing is validation rules. Well, first of all, why we are enforcing validation rules? We are enforcing validation rules to make the data clean. For suppose the validation rules. So one more thing I have to show. Generally, I need to show this in development classes, but I'll show this again now. Order of. So this link will tell you what is the order of execution when the Salesforce record is saved or something happened. Okay. See, first of all, loads the original record from the database and, and initialize the record for an upset operation for upset statement. Okay, because it generally explains for both insert and update and even upset also. That's the reason they are using the upset operation here, because this is a combination of insert and update. Loads the new record values. Actually, yeah, If the record is already available, for suppose if you open an account record which is already available in the system, you are clicking on it and you are trying to modify the record. What happens in that case? There is some copy in the backend. You are trying to save a new you are trying to save the new copy by clicking on save button. Okay. Now what is this? This is update operation. It's happening. So the original copy from the database will be copied down and it loads into the current processing thing, and it loads the new record values also from the request and overwrites the old values. The what is that? Because the new values it's going to override in the original values in the which is a copy from the database. If the request is coming from the Salesforce UI edit page, Salesforce runs standard validation rules to check the record for compliance with layout specific rules. You're going to validate some data with page layouts also, right? You can make some fields required. That's also some type of very basic validation. You can make some fields read only. Page layout validation rules will not work when you're trying to upload data from the data loader. Okay. And are required, one second. Yeah, requires values at the layout level and field definition level. All the required values will be checked here. It checks the valid field formats, and again it maximum length of each and every field will be checked, because you can also control the length of all these options. Okay. um, which you have given at the while field creation, it checks all these things at the page layout level when you are trying to save the record at the Salesforce UI standard UI. Salesforce doesn't perform standard validation rules in this step when the request comes from other sources. See, when the request is coming from other sources like Apex application or SOAP API call, means Apex data loader is using SOAP API call. It doesn't follow this type of order. Salesforce run user-defined validation rules if multi-line items are created, such as quote line items and operation line items. It means it's saying that all the user-defined validation rules will be executed for both the records which are created from Salesforce UI and even from the backend API calls and Apex applications. And again, for suppose if you are trying to put some different values even at the backend, it generally validates the validation rules even from the API call also. And after that, it executes all the before triggers. And the fourth step is runs most and validation rule step again. Again, this is going to be executed. This is the initial phase. Sorry, actually, when I was uploading the data with API call like Apex Data Loader, here is where you are going to execute the compliance for required fields, unique fields, all these type of validations is going to be checked here. And valid field formats, field length. For suppose if the field length is 20 digits, if you are trying to add 25 digit value, at the fourth step, it's going to check at this step. Okay. If the record is not null means it required, you have to enter some data. It's a unique field. Then you must enter a value, otherwise it will fire the error at this fourth step. And all the duplicate issue type of issues will be calculated at fifth step. Means if you make some field as external ID field, it will check duplicates also. If you make like unique option, see when you are creating a field, a text field or number field, there is unique option. If you check that option, it will check duplicate values. If you are trying to enter duplicate value, it shows some error message. That message will be shown here. Okay, see, this step also will be executed even when you are trying to upload the record from SOAP API call. That is Apex data loader. After that, saves the record to the database but doesn't commit yet. After that, execute all after triggers. After that, assignment rules. All the steps will be exactly followed. Okay. I was talking about the field dependencies, right? That step is available in this area. Okay, compliance and layout rules, all this stuff. Even it adds like a JavaScript item. Okay, these things are the first level. See, when you are trying to save the data from Salesforce UI edit page, it generally follow this step two times. One time here and second time again at the fourth side. Okay, and these are other steps after that: workflow rules, validation rules, auto response rules, workflow rules, field updates. Okay, and again if there is any duplicate values in field updates, it's going to execute rule again before triggers, after update, before update, after update. After that you can execute approval process, that is process object is this. After that, escalation rules, entitlement rules, all the other stuff. Finally, the DML operation is going to be done at 20th step, the commit operation. Exact final save is happening at 20th step. 24th step, it executes all the post commit logic, such as sending emails out of the object. When you are saving a contract record, if you send out an email saying, hey, you have been registered in our system as a contact, these are your details. If you want to send this type of email when a contact is getting created, yes, you can send out that type of emails at 21st step. Because people don't know, like, the order of execution is exact order of execution is this. So this is the strong interview question. When you're taking interviews, please open this link for explaining the order of execution. Whenever they ask it, you can clearly explain the things by following this link. These are additional considerations. There are some more important things you can follow. You can follow this also. Some more logic means in what case this happens. So the type of scenarios here is clearly mentioned here in these considerations. I'm going to share this link on the chart. You can use it. You can copy it. Okay. So did I answer your questions, Sridhar? Yeah. Let's move on to report dashboards, especially dashboards. I want to build a dashboards only for the Kansas region, for a Kansas sales team, Kansas sales reps. That's what we discussed yesterday. We have created some report folder and some reports, that is a tabular report, a summary report, and even matrix report and joint report also for Kansas region people. Okay. Now I want to create a dashboards. What are dashboards? When I click on on the dashboards tab, I see a very beautiful components with pictorial representation of the data. For suppose if I click on this particular component, it takes me to the report which is linked with that component. Each and every dashboard component what you are seeing here in this page is attached to a report. Otherwise you are not going to get this data here. See the data what it is able to show here is it's coming from a report. You can't directly attach an object directly to the dashboard. First you have to build the reports. That reports you can use it in the dashboard as a sources, so that the components are fed with the data from that reports. And you're not seeing the data here, you are seeing the visual representation, like summarized data on the on the same page. See, I can attach one report for this, the other report for this, the other third report for this, fourth report for this, like that. In the single screen I am seeing a lot of information. See, in the current scenario in my system I am unable to build a lot of scenarios. But if there is a big company there, if there are a lot of things to check out for a salespeople, how many type of reports I can build? I can compete. I can create a competition between my sales reps. If there are five people in sales group in Kansas, I can show some reports how people are performing. John Vance is making 500 records. Uh, Angela is making 200 records. Like that, I can say show some dashboard with this type of component so that they can see that and they feel, hey, I am doing this much. This guy is doing more. I have to do more and more. Like that, they can compete with each other. I can build that type of report for them. I can I can show a report with open opportunities which are in different stages like this in a funnel, all open, sorry, all prospecting, negotiation, um, uh, won, all the close won opportunities you can see in the bottom funnel because there are around 6 to 7 stages in your opportunity. It depends on your requirement. So you can each and every stage is this. First stage is second stage, third stage, fourth stage, like that. It's like a funnel process. If you got 1,000 leads in your system, you can move down to the next stage only 900 records, and you can move on to the next stage to only 700 records. It happens generally in the business. That's the reason it looks like a funnel. And the opportunities you can close only is out of 1,000 you can approximately, I can think like 300 records. Now the funnel looks like it's it shows 1,000 records here, it shows 300 records here. It's like a funnel. If the funnel is like a pipe, so like a cylinder, it shows, hey, all the opportunities getting created are automatically completely converting into the uh, close one opportunities. If that is the case, it looks like a cylinder. If there are more opportunities coming, if you are closing only less number of opportunities, then it looks like a more funnel way. It's like very bigger thing on the top, smaller, very smaller at the bottom. If there are less number of opportunities, what they are convert means you are, if you are converting less number of opportunities, the funnel will directly show you this information very quickly. And even the targets. For suppose if my targets is making $4 million sale in this quarter, so um, so 4 million target I can put. I means he, in the current scenario, 2 is the $4 million. 18 is the limit, actually the maximum limit I can make. For suppose if my target is 2 records, I created 18 records. That is the reason what happened here. If I'm making 0 records, the meter gauge is shown is at 0. If I made 1 record, it shows at 1. If I made 2 records, it shows at starting of green. If I currently what happened is the target is 2, it's in starting of green color, means I am safe. I have reached my target, sales target, but I made 18 records. That is the reason my meter gauge has more green. The marking is at the 18th item, means the target is 2. I made 18 records. I made 18 means 2 into like I made 16 more additional records. That's what this report gauge tells you. So if my target is $4 million, if I made $3 million, it will be in the yellow color. If I made only if I made more than $4 million, it's in green color. If I made extremely well, the meter gauge will be shown at the bottom right side. Okay, there are a lot of components. So this is called horizontal bar, vertical bar chart, line chart, pie chart, donut chart, funnel chart, meter gauge chart, meter gauge, okay, component. This is dotted component. This is, you can insert a VF page also. You can insert the tabular type of data also. Okay. Let's click on go back to dashboards list, and where you create dashboard folder and dashboards. Okay. It's again in reports. When I click on reports also, I'll come back to this same screen. When I go back to dashboards and I click on go to dashboards list also, I'm coming back to reports only. Here is I have seen a small option called new dashboard. Why is that? Because reports and dashboards are totally linked to each other. You need to create a report to create a dashboard. First of all, I'm creating a report, later on I will create dashboards. I want to create a new dashboard. First of all, I want to create a dashboard folder. Before creating a dashboard, I'll create a dashboard folder. New dashboard folder, Kansas sales team, save it. This is a dashboard folder. I want to share this dash. See, the report folders will look like this color. Dashboard folders will look like this. Okay, so I'm clicking on share. You know how to share these things, right? By users, you click on these users and I can share one by one to the people, so that these people have access to this folder, so that they can access it in dashboards list also. I can share by roles, I can share by roles and internal subordinates, roles and portal subordinates. A lot of options are there. These are the roles information I can share to CEO also. Okay, and I'm clicking on done. You can work on this later. Okay, I can share it to public groups also. Now this dashboard folder is having blank data. The sales, see, this is the report folder. I am clicking on this. You can see more reports, like that is 4 reports. One is, this is the tabular report. This is a summary report. This is a matrix report. This is a joint report. Let's go to dashboard folder. I'm clicking on new dashboard. See, this is a dashboard editing page. Okay, these are components. How many components are there? You can count. 9 plus 2, 11 components. Vertical bar, sorry, horizontal bar, vertical bar, line chart, pie chart, donut chart, funnel chart, dotted, scattered chart. I think it's not dotted chart, scattered chart. Some people call them dotted chart also. And this is gauge chart, the meter gauge, what I seen like a um, speed limit type of option. Okay, and metric component, table component, and finally VF page. I can also insert some pages. What is a VF page? I'll talk later. It's a it's like a HTML page. Salesforce have proprietary programming for writing the user interface that is called Visual Force page. Anyway, I want to add these components one by one. And for suppose before adding this, I'll show the some more options to you. I am adding a component, drag and dropping here, and here you have option like medium. There are 3 options: wide, narrow, medium. Narrow means smallest one, medium means average, wide means bigger components. For suppose if you want to make only 2 components on the say on the row, 1 2 3 4 like that, I can make 2 wide components and I can do that. Okay, see, I can make a wide component. That's it. I can remove this completely. This works. If I click on plus, I can add one more. I can't add more than 3. Okay, I'll make it as narrow. Sorry, medium is fine. I want to add one by one again the dashboards, line bar. Okay, see, most of the dashboard components here will be using the summary report, because what are these reports? See, in the tabular format, I'm not summarizing by anything. If you want to show some vertical bar chart, you have to summarize by something. You have to summarize by users, you have to summarize by city, or you have to summarize by country, something like that. You have to summarize, otherwise you can't bring this type of group data. How I can show the how people are competing each other in a sales team? If there are 6 people team in Kansas, I can compete them with number of opportunities created in their Kansas region by each and every people who belongs to Kansas region. What I can do, I can run a report on opportunity object, and I can group by users, owners. Owner means the person who is working on that opportunity. means the sales rep who is working on that opportunity. I can group by that. If I drag and drop that component onto this horizontal bar chart, the bars will tell you John made this much big bar, Angela made this small bar, and again Tom is good enough. He's very close to John Bands. Like that, you can work on this. I can show this type of bar chart here. Same way, the vertical bar chart also. It's only visual representation. It's only different, very small difference. Here it's horizontal and it's vertical here. And line chart also. On one screen, you show the record count. On the other side, you generally put down the sales rep name with the dots. For suppose sales rep John will be having more records at the end like this. So Angela is having small number of records like that. You can put on that. So on one scene record count, on the other side, who what is the username means our sales rep name, how many records he created in this month or in this quarter or this year. I can build that. Again, when I'm using this pie chart also, I can use record count or I can use the total sale value what they have made. If John made the total sale made in Kansas is $10 million. If John made $5 million, half of the pie chart is John's. If Angela made $2 million, 20% of that pie chart is Angela's. Like that, you can see same way. You can also group the same way. The difference between this and this is no difference. It's donut and pie. There is a space inside. Here, there is no space. There's no difference between these two also. Okay, and line chart also will looks like a vertical bar chart. The same projections it will see it here. And funnel is little different, totally different. And scatter will looks like a line chart only. Scatter this and this. Okay. Right. And this funnel chart also it's used for targets. I can put on the targets and I can put on even project the sales data by users also. This is only the metrics of the things like group data, how many records are made by these guys, like that I can put. Tabular data I can put on this, and VF pages. Some messages I can put on this VF pages. I can also build reports component type of this type of visual things with VF base also. There are separate tags for that. Similarly, like HTML tags, there are separate tags for reporting tags in Visual Force programming. Anyway, I want to drag each and everything here. I will show you how to feed the data for this. I'm adding all the components on this, but some of the components might. I'm clicking on save. Sorry, before I can't save this. These are the components available here. I'm clicking on data sources. These are the main tabs. Components, first you have to add what components you need according to the customer requirement. Later on you have to click on data sources. There are two type of data sources. One is reports. The other thing is Visual Force pages. I want to use Kansas sales team only because this dashboard is for Kansas people. See, I want to use the matrix. I'm dragging and dropping here. Matrix report. By billing city. I want to drag and drop summary report on this. Sorry. When I'm trying to drop this tabular report on the line chart, what happens? I will show that to you. See. The report cannot be used as a source for this because it won't works. Same thing you can see it on this also. I will drag and drop again the summary report on this. It works fine. Mm, else I can show some different thing here. Opportunities report. I don't have that. That's the reason I'm just going with this. Okay. Generally, this is so useful for opportunities or lead conversions or case status type of messages. For suppose all the new cases will show here, all the open cases, all the closed cases at the bottom of the funnel. Like that, you can show that different cases I can use for different options. For doing that, what I have to do? I have to get a report on the opportunity. I have to summarize by stage. Now all the stages by stages it's going to summarize. If I drag and drop that report on this, it shows automatically the different stages on different options. 1 second, guys. Mm, Same way, let's feed the data for this scatter dash. This also needs some summary report, and I'm using the same thing for gauge report also, and I'm using the same thing for metrics report. I want to use this. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Yeah. And the tabular report, I want to feed this. Let's try this. Not works. Okay. Anyway, it also needs the summary report. It shows only the count, only details of that. It won't show all the records. It simply shows the details. Record count of by billing city blank is 13, San Francisco it's 14. Because there are many records, but I kept some data range for that report. That's the reason it automatically applies. It's showing only the records for this. Okay. And VF pages, yes, I can bring any VF page here onto the top of this, like this, because this is a VF page. You haven't worked on that before. But let's um, run demo, or I'll say that works. Okay, cool. Hmm. Okay, I'm clicking on save. If I click on save, I have the option for putting the name Kansas sales dashboard. Now, what I will do, I'm going to share this dashboard only to the Kansas sales reps by sharing this report folder, so dashboard folder, to the public group where the public group members are Kansas people. You know that why I'm doing this? Even the CEO also can see this record because I have shared to the guys also. Save and run dashboard. Save means simply saves and I will be seeing the same screen. Now save and run means saved and it's running a dashboard for me. When I open a dashboard, it automatically loads all the new data. See, by billing city, it's showing the reports, vertical report. There is a very less data here. I'm not showing a lot of data. So if there are 10 cities, it shows 10 vertical bars, 10 horizontal bars, 10 options here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a record count. If the scattering is different, it shows like mountain type of structure like this. Same way the scatter report also will work. Here, San Francisco records. These are no records. Okay, no city. San Francisco records city. Same way 413, 413, 413. You can use the stages of opportunity also, prospecting, analysis, demo, like that. And finally close one or last stage is that VF page. I'm showing a VF page directly on this screen. Okay, that's the demo of this. One more thing I want to show you on the dashboards concept is currently I'm viewing this dashboard as Venkat Gatamaneni. Okay, if I'm clicking on edit, I can build dynamic dashboard, I can build static dashboard, I can make a dashboard which can automatically be converted like some dynamic user also. There are options I'm going to tell you. Okay. Currently the dashboard is static dashboard. If any sales guy from is opening that record, is opening the dashboard, they are going to see the same data. Why is that? The dashboard is currently running as Venkat Gatamaneni. So if Venkat Gatamaneni is having some access of 500 records, it shows the reports on all the dashboards with that 500 records only. So it looks like the same way for all people. If you want to make this dynamic, click on this, click on, see, this is a specific use, this is a static option. If I click on second option, run as logged in user. If Srikanth is logging in, it shows the dashboards with the Srikanth's data, what Srikanth have access to. For suppose if Srikanth has access to just 20 records, it shows data with the 20 records only. The all the visual components, it shows the visual components with only the 20 records. If Venkat is having 500 records, it shows data for 500 records if Venkat is logged into the system. It dynamically shows different data for different people based on the person who logged into the system. If at a time if 10 people are logging, 10 people log into the same system, it shows different data for different people at the same time only. The third option is if I'm checking this option will have special permissions that the managers can change the logged in user also. See, if I check this option, let authorized users change running user. For suppose if Sridhar and Shankar is reporting to me, yeah, so what happens? If I have a permission to change the running user option, so first of all, when I log into the system, the reports will be shown. The the reports will be shown with my data. With my data, to what all data which I have access to, the data will be shown on on my dashboards. That's fine. So for suppose with role hierarchy, you are getting some special sharing access from the child records. The data also will be shown here. Okay. For suppose if I want to know what Shankar did and what Sridhar did, if I want to know who did well, I can change the logged in user also. This permission will automatically give that access for some set of for authorized users so that they can change the running user. So they can run the dashboard as specific user. So I can run the dashboard as Sridhar. I can see the reports like a Sridhar with the Sridhar's records, and I can change again to Shankar's so that I can see the new refreshed dashboard with the new Shankar's data. So I can compare them. Hey, Sridhar and Shankar are really competing well and they have similar records. So, but if one person is not doing well, I can simply message him, mail him, hey, this is the report of Sridhar. He's doing well, like that. I can just show that option to him, and like that, I can ask him to start working hard, like that. So only other users can have these permissions. See, users can only have this permission only if there is view all data access, and even the people who are managers, they can see their for subordinates they can see the data like this. For suppose if I am reporting to Srikanth, I cannot run the dashboard as Srikanth because he is my manager. I can't run the dashboard like him. I can't see his data. I can only see the data only if I have UL permissions on that objects which are related to this dashboard, related objects. Okay, you got it. Any questions on this? This is the last topic in dashboards. With that, I am closing this dashboards topic. Okay, any questions?
But as an generally admin will be running this dashboards.
No. Currently, most of the times it's the customer requirement. Suppose if you want to keep the dashboards specific to a user, gamifying the things. Hey, this is your report. This is your opportunity sale. This is your contacts creation. This many records you have created in the system, leads like that. In that case, I have to use run as logged in user. For suppose if your company want to show the company revenues like that for all the people in the company, I can run that particular dashboards as specific user like a CEO. I will run this report like a CEO or some system administrator, so that these two people will be having access to all data in the system, right? By role hierarchy, CEO will be having all access of all data. And again, for a system admin also, you're giving view all modify all permissions. With that, you have all access to of all data. So if I'm running like a system administrator, the dashboards will be executed with all system data. For suppose if there are all the organization have 1 million opportunity records, it shows the report dashboards with the data. So for suppose when company is announcing some revenues, all this stuff, the overall revenue, quarterly revenue, this type of overall company dashboard will be created, and it will be shared only to some set of people like CFO, CXO, CMO, and CEO of the company. In that case, I have to run this dashboard like a CEO or system administrator. Some dashboards, if you want to know, if you want to share to all users about your company sales performance, you have to run like a system admin or CEO of the company. And most of other dashboards which are competing, which will be competing with others like that gamification, if you want to add that type of things, you have to run as logged in user. And obviously this logged in user means option, if I'm checking this, I have a sub option that the managers can automatically change the run as logged in user also. He can check the reports as his subordinate. He can see like a subordinate what this guy has doing it. Okay, you got it. Cool. That's it, guys. Okay, with that, we are now.
Uh,
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
are there any restrictions on this reports and dashboards that we
Restriction.
should know?
Restrictions means especially.
I mean, any kind of limits or whatever.
Yeah, obviously, yes. Now I have shown some error on the page. We have reached the limit of dashboards run as login user because I can only show only some dynamic dashboards, not all the dashboards. That's the reason there is a limit here. So again, for telling you about the limits, Salesforce will impose a lot of limits on many things. Each and everything they have a limit. No, number of fields creation, number of size of the fields, all this stuff is a limit. So for that, there is a very big PDF. Even though when we are talking about Apex part and the new coming okay topics, they really talk about limits a lot. You have to consider limits of Salesforce and you have to write your code. Otherwise, your system will be means the code what you're writing is called as bad code. If you are not considering the limits, it's bad. So there is a limits because why is the limits important in Salesforce? Because the same server is accessed by many people in the many customers. Okay, for suppose if some customer is accessing more and more data or more and more API requests, he is accessing a lot of data. He is trying to update a lot of data at once. What happens to the other people who are using the same server? The server will be down obviously for other people. So can IRCTC buy Salesforce server and they can use it for them? No, it won't work for them because there is a lot of limits here. And if they want to specially use Salesforce server, yes, they might need special requests or they have to ask for special limits also. If for suppose if for few things if you want special limits, you can ask them. You can ask Salesforce. They can extend it. Sometimes they will extend it for free. Sometimes for some features they will ask for additional money. They'll charge you extra for some of the features. Okay. So yeah, limits is again a lot of important option. I think all the dashboards which I have developed are dynamic dashboards. That's the reason it automatically it's not allowing me to save like a dynamic dashboard. I will clicking on I am running a specific user that is Venkat. I can also run as some other users also by clicking on this. I can write the name like Usha. I can run a dashboard like Usha also. Simply selecting this. Now the dashboards will run like a Usha's dashboard. So now everything will be changing. Okay, save. Now the reports very will show with very less data. Yeah, obviously there's a difference here. 13 records. I think yeah, Usha is having view all mod file permissions again. That's the reason I'm seeing the same data. I already said you. If she have access to the data, obviously the things will show up. The same reports will show up. She's also system admin. I am also system admin. That's it. But if you are running a specific like a sales, I means some solution manager profile without having view all mod file permissions, if that guy have not created any records at all in the system, now all your dashboards are blank. Okay, it depends on the records what that person have access. Okay.
And coming to data loader, I have a question like to restrict the field dependencies, is there any process that we can do for inserting of correct data or what we should do for that?
There's another concept. Okay. um, Field dependencies actually, yeah, there is a lot of Excel technology like VB scripting like that, and even macros to automatically control the city and city values. That's a means that's a Excel job. That's the only option. That's the only option we have. Okay, but technically, you don't have option that because the data what you are taking from the spreadsheet. So generally, the job of the developer is not to create the data which I created in the last class like L1, L2 like that. The data will be created is a real-time data. They will share it with you in a spreadsheet or CSV file. You have to upload it to the system. So you don't need to validate the data at all. Simply you upload it. If they're asking, hey, this is the data which is existing in the system. So if they want me to update the records, I use update operation. If they want to insert, use insert operation. That's it.
Okay.
You don't need to worry about that. If there is any issues at all, that's their problem, the business problem. If they say, there's no proper field dependency in the system, hey, you shared me the report of 5 million records or like 50,000 records in a spreadsheet. I simply uploaded that report to my system. It's not my job to do that. But once the report is uploaded, means once the Excel sheet is uploaded, I can validate that type of options with some Apex script that I will talk in programming. Okay, by writing Apex anonymous script, I can automatically validate this, and if there's any issue at all, I can mark that type of records, especially with checkbox issue with that record, so that I can open only that records, and I can export that, and I will share it to the business saying, hey, these are the very bad records, and you guys can re change the city values for appropriate countries, and I will re-upload the I will re-update upload the data by updating by using the update operation, so that the data will be clean again. Okay, that's what you can do. There's no other way.
Yep.
Good question. Okay, thanks guys. I want to close the class for now. Okay.
One last question, can I? Or should we continue?
Yeah, please go ahead, Shankar.
Like we are have you gave us assignment, right? Like Zoho one.
Yeah,
Uh, is what we did is the correct one, or we should be doing something differently
when
other than
you
what
have
we have?
time to look into that.
Have you seen that actually?
Yeah, I will look tomorrow morning, okay, and I will work on.
Okay.
I will see that, and if there's any issues, I will let you keep you posted. Anyway, I will share you the access for Asana tool. That's a project management tool which you can access it even on your mobile. Okay, just you can see the status of the things, and you can post me the updates from your side, and I can even post you the feedback from my side also. That's a simple tool for that. Okay, I'll share the login for you guys.
Okay.
Thank, thanks, guys.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Meet tomorrow. Bye.